How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
She goes down at 12.
I take it is later, sir.
Hold. Take my sword. There's husbandry in heaven. The candles are all out. Take thou that, too. A heavy summons lies like lead upon me. Yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers, restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword. Who's there? In front. What, sir? Not yet at rest? The king's abed. He hath been in unusual pleasure and sent forth great largesse to your offices. Nay more, your wife he greets withal by the name of most kind hostess, and shut up in measureless content.
Being unprepared, our will became the servant to defect, which else should free have wrought.
All's well. I dreamt last night of the three weird sisters. To you they have showed some truth.
I think not of them. Yet, when we can entreat an hour to serve, we'd spend it in some words upon that business. If you would grant the time.
At your kindest leisure.
If you shall cleave to my consent when 'tis, it shall make honor for you.
Oh, so I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear. I will be counseled.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir. The like to you.
Go, bid thy mistress, when my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell. Get you to bed. Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. Have they not? I need to see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind? A false creation proceeding from the hate oppressed brain. I see thee yet. In form as palpable as this, which now I drew. Thou marshallest me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made the fools of the other senses. All else worth, all the rest. See thee still. And on thy blade and dudgeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. There's no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now, for the one half-world nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep, witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings, and withered murder, alarmed by his sentinel, the wolf, whose howls his watch thus, with his stealthy pace, with Tarquin's ravishing stride, toward his design moves, like a ghost. A sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabouts, and take this present horror from the time which now suits with it. Whilst I threat, he lives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan. If it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace. It was the owl that shrieked, the fatal bellman which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets. The death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die. Alack, I'm afeard they have awaked, and 'tis not done. The attempt on not the deed confounds us. I laid their daggers ready, he could not miss 'em. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. My husband!
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now!
As I descended?
Aye.
Hark! Who lies in this second chamber?
Don Bane.
This is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder. That they did wake each other, I stood and heard them. But they did say their prayers and addressed them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as they'd seen me with his hangman's hands. Listening their fear, I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could not I pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, but amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Thought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep. The innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the revel's sleeve of care, the death of each day's life, sore labour's bath, balm of hurt minds, great nature's second course, chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more, all the house glams hath murdered sleep, therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more, Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brave and sickly of things. Go get some water, and wash this filthy witness from your hands. Why did you bring the daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I am afeard to think what I have done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose. Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood which fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Answers that knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? They pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No, this my hand will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your colour. But I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy has left you unattended. Hark, more knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wake, Duncan, with thy knocking. I would thou couldst.
Here's a knocking, indeed. A man were porter of Hell Gate, he should have called, turning the key. No, no, no. Who's there? In the name of Beelzebub. Faith, here's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Oh, come in, time server. Have napkins enough about you. Here, you'll sweat for it. Not who's there in the other devil's name. Faith, here's an equivocator who can swear, in both the scales, against either scale, who committed treason enough for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven. Come in, equivocator. Knock, who's there? Faith, here's an English tailor. You come hither for stealing. Oh, dear. Out of a French horse, come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. No, never a quiet. What are you? But this place is too cold for hell. I'll devil portrait no further. I had thought to have let in some of all professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. Anon. I pray you, remember the porter.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we was carousing till the second cock. And drink, sir, is a great provoker of three things.
Well, what three things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lecture, sir. Drink provokes and unprovokes. Yes, it provokes a desire, but it takes away the performance. Yeah. Therefore, much drink may be said to be an equivocator. with lechery, it makes him and it mars him. It sets him on, it takes him off, it makes him stand to, and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him in a sleep, and giving him the lie, leaves him.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir, in the very throat of me.
Is thy master stirring?
Our knocking has awaked him. Here he comes. Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both. Is the king stirring, worthy Thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. I've almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
The labor we delight in, physics pain. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today? He does, he did appoint so. The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down. And as they say, lamentings heard in the air, strange screams of death, and prophesying with accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events, new hatch to the woeful time. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow toot.
Horror. Horror. Horror.
What's the matter?
A tongue no heart cannot conceive nor name thee.
What is the matter?
Confusion now hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke ope the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What is it you say? The life.
Me knew his majesty. Approach the chamber. Destroy your sight with the new Gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See and then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Banquo and Donalbain! Malcolm! Awake! Shake off this downy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look on death itself. Banquo! Malcolm! Ring the bell!
What's the business? That such a hideous trumpet calls upon the sleepers of this house. Speak. Speak.
Oh, gentle lady, it is not for you to hear what I can speak. And the repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Oh, Banquo. Banquo, our royal master's murdered.
What? In our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Did I prithee contradict thyself and say it is not so?
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I'd lived a blessed time. For from this instant, there's nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys. Renown and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere lees is left this vault to brag of.
What is amiss?
You are, and you do not know it. Spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father's murdered.
By whom? Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done. Their hands and faces were all batched with blood. So were their daggers, which on what we found upon their pillows, they stared and were distracted.
trusted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. The expedition of my violent love outran the pauser, reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood. Oh. And his gashed stabs looked like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. They're the murderers, steeped in the colours of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain that had a heart to love, and in that heart courage to make his love known?
Oh, help me, Hans. Oh.
Look to the lady.
Oh.
Why do we hold our tongues that most may claim this argument for ours?
What should be spoken here, where our fate hid in an auger hole may rush and seize us let's away? Our tears are not yet brewed,
Nor our strong sorrow on the foot of motion.
To the lady. And when we have our naked frailties hid that suffer in exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight, of treasonous malice.
And so do I.
So all, let's briefly put on manly readiness, and meet in the hall together.
Well contented. What will you do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy. I'll to England.
To Ireland, I. Our separated fortune shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers in men's smiles. The nearer in blood, the nearer bloody.
And our safest way is to avoid the aim, therefore to horse.
And let us not be dainty of leave-taking, but shift away.
There's warrant in that theft which steals itself, when there's no mercy left.
I can remember well, within the volume of which time I have seen hours dreadful and things strange. But this sore night hath trifled former knowings.
Our good father, thou seest the heavens, as troubled with man's act, threatens his bloody stage. By the clock 'tis day, yet dark night strangles the travelling lamp. Is night's predominance, or the day's shame? That darkness does the face of earth entomb, when living light should kiss it.
'Tis unnatural, even like the deed that's done.
How goes the world, sir? Now,
Why? See you not?
is known who did this more than bloody deed.
Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas the day! What good could they pretend?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature, still. Thriftless ambition that will raven up thine own life's means. Then 'tis most likely sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where is Duncan's body?
Carried to Coombe Kill, the sacred storehouse of his predecessors and guardian of their bones.
Will you to Scone?
No, Cos. I'll home to Fife.
Well, I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu. Lest our old robes sit easier than our new.
Farewell, father.
God's benison go with you. and with those that would make good of bad and friends of foes.